Even if the budget comes out at the old rate, don't panic. Sadani knows what he's doing. The longer he can hide this form Parliament, the better. All the information about the new exchange rate has not been released yet, but within 0.13 days this budget will expose itself. It has no choice. This budget has no choice but to show its true colors in order for it to come to life. A new exchange rate cannot wait much longer. Two experts to Saba, Iraq's cash reserves are reassuring. Quote, academic Dr. Nabil Al-Marsomi. Iraq ranked third in the Arab world in terms of foreign exchange reserves for the year 2024. To $106.7 billion in 2024 according to data from the Central Bank of Iraq. He added that the country has large cash reserves, which are greater than 100% of the volume of the issued currency. Over time the dong's value decreased, making it one of the lowest valued currencies in the world. Despite this, Vietnam's economy has grown rapidly in recent decades, and the dong remains a crucial symbol of the country's resilience and independence. The word dong means copper in Vietnamese, a nod to the traditional copper coins used in ancient times. You can trade the VND on the forex market, or you can do what many investors have done, and that is purchase the currency and wait for the value to increase. I think we all know the United States is sitting on a very large stack of Iraqi dinar. Probably many other currencies as well, because if we know about it, they know about it. If we can figure it out, they probably have. They're one step ahead of us. That's a good thing, because if this is a benefit for the United States of America, and if it's a benefit for Iraq, and if it's a benefit for other Middle Eastern countries, let's get going. Iraq and Jordan agree to reorganize entry of goods. They are working on a joint economic city on the border, so this will become a border city, or a trade city for both sides. Jordan is widely accepted as a friend to all westernized countries and will open up an enormous door for Iraq internationally. This is big and exciting news. They are using the lower notes at the Iraqi border for training. Trump cancels U.S. exemption for Iraq to import electricity and gas from Iran. Quote, U.S. President Donald Trump canceled, on Wednesday, the exemption granted to Iraq to import electricity and gas from Iran, as part of the new package of sanctions on Iran. It also includes taking immediate steps, in coordination with the Secretary of the Treasury and other relevant agencies, to ensure that Iran does not use the Iraqi financial system to evade or circumvent sanctions, and that the Gulf states are not used as a transshipment point to evade sanctions. Governor of the Central Bank of Iraq receives the French ambassador accompanied by a delegation from the French business sector. Quote, the governor of the Central Bank of Iraq, Mr. Ali Mohsen El Alak, received the French ambassador to Iraq, Mr. Patrick Doreal, and a French delegation, which included a number of French banks and companies in various sectors, in the presence of officials from the Central Bank of Iraq and the Director General of TBI Bank. Question: what are we expecting once the budget tables are done? Mark Z: we are expecting and hoping the Iraqi tables to have new rates. Amounts and new rates for currency. I am told Parliament is working on them today. Elon Musk is not on a mission to downsize the federal government. He is working on discovering and elimination fraud and waste. USAID is a grifter's delight and has been used, since the Kennedy era, as a way to launder money. They give grants that are fraudulent. In no way will Iraq be affected by the closure of the front agency. After all, haven't we been inundated by statements of ending corruption in Iraq? This is a puff piece article of no consequence. It is merely an anti-Trump, TDS, article. Pay no attention, as it couldn't possibly have any bearing on the important and vital work being done in Iraq. Kurdistan is ecstatic. Kurdistan is happy. They passed the amendments, the parts, of the budget. You now have oil flowing from Kurdistan to Baghdad, and the price they accepted tells me there's a new exchange rate. How can all that be at 1310? Eventually the budget will reveal the new exchange rate. To discuss military and strategic files. A high-ranking American official will visit Baghdad soon. Quote, the American official will discuss the mechanism for restructuring the relationship between the United States of America, in addition to understandings in the areas of security and defense, along with files related to the U.S. Federal Reserve. I was told it most likely will be on a Saturday night into a Sunday morning, between 11 p.m. Est and 2 a.m. Est. That is when the banks are quietest around the world. The second best time is a Thursday afternoon. Iraq issues new banknotes with innovative security features for the visually impaired. Photos. I have to once again reinforce that the issuance of the visually impaired 30 notes is not an issue. As an investor, this is not something you should worry about. It is actually a good thing for our investment, not a negative impact. Basra Governor Asad al-Idani announced on Wednesday the launch of the Palm City project, one of the largest residential and development projects in Iraq. Al-Idani said during a press conference followed by Shafaq news agency, the Palm City extends over an area of 54 nature reserves in addition to 34 dunams, and it is a sustainable, environmentally friendly city, indicating that the city was designed to include 120,000 housing units, universities, and industrial areas, with nature reserves to reduce carbon emissions and improve the quality of life. Al-Idani added, the project, which was planned for more than 10 years, has obtained the necessary approvals, and a complete consensus has been reached between 3 leading construction companies, as investment licenses will be granted soon. Al-Idani pointed out that the local government supports investors, including providing security and the necessary infrastructure. According to the statement, the project is being implemented by Egyptian, Chinese and Gulf companies, including Al Safi Group, Mountain View and the China Railway Corporation, which expressed during the meeting their commitment to implementing the project according to the highest standards, noting that Basra will be the jewel of the Gulf through this huge investment. The state administration coalition called for an emergency meeting next Saturday, at the government palace in the capital, Baghdad, to discuss a group of important issues. An informed source told Shafaq news agency that the most important of these issues is the recent escalation against the federal court after it issued the state order to stop the implementation of the 3 controversial laws. The Iraqi political arena has witnessed rapid development since yesterday, Tuesday, after the federal court issued a judicial order to stop the implementation of the general amnesty laws, amend the personal status law, and return the properties to their owners in Kirkuk. This decision prompted the Sunni forces to escalate their stance against the court, as official work was suspended in 3 Sunni provinces in protest against the decision, amid hints of other escalatory steps such as withdrawing from parliament and the government, and organizing protest demonstrations. The beginning